Today we have the hottest day of the year temperature-wise so far, and it looks like it's going to be a cooking hot day out there. Probably the first day I'll suit up with my summer riding gear and see how that works out. But anyway, temperature aside, get a good cup of coffee under your belt and look back at the year and a half that I've owned this bike. All the little mods I've made. It was a blank canvas when I started. And I did things that I thought were tasteful and easy to do and fun. Polishing the exhaust was certainly one of them. The Graves tail tidy, among other things. And I've looked at other MT09s that had things that I did think were pretty cool. But I'm not finished. And I did a lot of custom little paint work. We've used almost a quart of matching paint here. Painting things over and over. But eventually we'll have it the way we want it. And the wheels. The biggest job of the whole winter was painting those wheels. And that was truly a labor of love. A million little small details. But like with any bike, it's always a work in progress. Now this day promises to be the hottest day of the year so far. I don't know if it is or not until the day is over. Weather's supposed to be decent. Small chance of rain. We're headed out on the open road either way. And no matter what the weather is, we are always looking to get out on the open road. Job one, get the riding in on the limited time that we have during the day and on the limited days we have during the year. And here's a little shout out to Scott, who finished up his RZ 350, sent me some pictures. I'm going to show those pictures and I'm going to answer some questions on Q&A because Dale had an RZ, or still has an RZ 350 that I did some work on a tank. And last time he had it at one of the meetups, I couldn't remember which side of the tank I did the repair on. Anyway, Dale still has it in his collection. We'll probably be seeing that before the summer's out. So here's Scott's RZ. He did most of the work himself. He's planning on doing some work on the tank. We've been corresponding pretty much every day. Exchanging pictures, exchanging technology, and he has seen all 10 of the videos that are out on my channel of doing Dale's exact same bike, doing Dale's RZ tank. Still out on the channel. And with the really warm weather here, finally at last, at least the beginning of it, really, it's really premature. But anyway, it is time to do some work on the jetting, get it running into its summer jetting mode. We have it running super, super rich because we're riding this when it was really cold outside. And I don't want to French fry it. And it won't be long, we'll be doing a 12,000 mile maintenance on the MT09. A lot of things going on here. This is the first day we're going to get to use our summer riding gear. It's already getting really hot. And the weather is, it's supposed to go into the high 80s by lunchtime. Summer riding gear time. Thank you, Vlad, for the many parts, the carbon fiber fender, the back, the hugger, and the tires. Actually, three sets of tires already. Vlad, you have been a good friend. And we know we're going to be doing some work for you in a very, very near future. Looking forward to it. when I bought this summer riding gear on the light color, it's kind of a silvery white. I put them both out in the sun and took a digital temperature gauge, and it was significantly cooler than the black one was. I remember that. But it feels like we're going to have a very hot day by the time this day is over. Now, usually around the lakes and in the shade, of course, too, it's a little cooler than it is out in the bright sun on a main road where the blacktop is reflecting up like a solar panel. But anyway, because this is the first really hot day of the year, my job is to start to get acclimated to the heat. Now, another thing we got to get acclimated to, they're still jacking up the price. Almost every time you buy the gas, it's more than the time before. Doesn't look like it's going down. Now, on these hot days, what I try to do, it's not real rocket science. When I stop to take a couple pictures or whatever, I like to try to be at least partially in the shade or in total shade, especially around the lakes. Now, a couple of the little details that we did, the custom graphics, the screening without bolts, some of the painted parts around the headlight, and actually the headlight cover itself, all small details, but every one of those details adds up to being a relatively custom bike. And I really am really happy with the way the Michelin 5s worked out on this bike. I've had 3 different rear tires on the bike and because of 2 flats, and the Michelin 5 is by far the best. Now, and it's funny, in the winter, going north, you can feel the temperature drop. In the summer, the same thing is true. And it's probably 5 degrees cooler here than it is back home in Rutherford. I don't know why, just because it's in the mountains. And this whole bike is just a bunch of small details that I did one at a time until I was happy with that part of it. We did a lot of it, and thank you, John Pathia, for the help with the Photoshop. And yeah, for help, he did the whole thing basically. And the silver wheels. And to me, it is the silver wheels that were the most labor-intensive part of the whole thing, and worth every single minute that I put into it. Those wheels make the whole bike different. And this time of the year, taking pictures, working on my photography skills, everything is nice and green. The trees, the leaves are on the trees, and most of the dead leaves are blown away by now. It's a nice time of year to take pictures. Now, as this day was heating up all during the ride, I was getting more and more excited about getting into the shade. It really did get into the 90s by the end of this ride, and it was hot. And I'm not acclimated to it yet, but I will be soon. Now, one of the key things that makes this bike so much fun to ride, they have the exhaust tuned to low-end torque, and it's not loud and raspy that you give away your position to the people with radar. And I have really come to appreciate the ABS and, of course, the traction control, and the biggest one of all, the quick shifter, which I wish I had on every bike in my collection. And every time I'm out in the bright sun and I see the sun reflecting on that silver paint that I mixed, that's custom mixed 4-to-1 paint. It was experimental. It's all documented on the videos of painting the Mt09 wheels. Now I'm so happy the way all the mods we did over the winter worked out so well. And I'm already planning other things I want to do over the next winter when we do get the shop open for work. And I was thinking right about now how nice it would be if I had a nice big giant cup of iced tea with a lot of ice in it, but it ain't happening. And one last pass past the lake area, and we'll be headed back to Route 80, get back to Karen, and I'm sure by now she's already mixed up the iced tea and got the ice cubes in it, because I am really starting to sweat and cook. It's amazing how you go from being freezing and cold and you wish you could just get home to have coffee. Right now, I'm thinking I'd rather have iced tea. Is it in the 90s yet?
It's getting close.
It's getting close, baby.
Got home just in time.
Got just in time to have a big thing of iced tea with lunch. She's so right. Well, this is the first really hot ride of the year, this summer riding gear. I like it better when it's cold, to be honest. It got hot at the end of this ride. It really got hot. I'm glad I'm home, and I'm glad Karen has iced tea for the porch. And I hope you enjoyed sharing this very, very hot day with us. Now, one thing I always notice with the GoPro camera, on a bright sunny day like this, it really records beautifully. On a day when it's raining or it's cloudy or there's not a lot of sun, not so much. It kind of looks bland. But today, wow, Everything looks green, greener than green. But you have no control on that Hero 3 anyway, so you got to take and go to war with the hero that you have. Anyway, my bike collection hopefully has given me enough exercise, getting me acclimated to warm weather, giving me something to do over a long winter, the long East Coast winter we have here, and all the little details as I look at the bike and I stop and take pictures, look at it on the video while I'm editing. This has been a project that's probably been the most fun of any of the restorations. And thanks everyone for watching, and congratulations to Scott on a nice RZ.